Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a brand new $1 million Ferrari. The engine is screaming. You hit the gas and you launch from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds flat. The adrenaline is pumping, your friends are in the back screaming, and you're flying down the highway. But right as you approach a sharp, deadly turn, you reach down to hit the brakes. And you realize the manufacturer didn't give you sports car brakes. They gave you the rusty, plastic, squeaky handbrakes from a 10-year-old bicycle. You pull the lever. Nothing happens. You're moving way too fast and you can't stop. Welcome to The Unfinished Mind. I'm Anani Singhal, and believe it or not, what I just described right now isn't a nightmare about a car. It's a literal example of what the anatomical map of the brain looks like inside your head right now. I'm a freshman in high school, and honestly, just a few months ago, I didn't exactly care about this area of neuroscience at all. But then I stumbled across a true crime case where a 15-year-old signed a confession for a crime he didn't even commit, just because he was terrified and wanted to go home. It made me furious. How could the legal system expect a kid to make life-altering decisions under that kind of pressure? That sent me down a massive rabbit hole. I started reading research from different universities, looking into how the teen brain actually functions. And what I found blew my mind. The law treats teenagers like fully formed calculators, but biologically, we are all driving Ferraris with bicycle brakes. In this series, we're breaking down neurolaw, the intersection of brain science and the criminal justice system. And today, we're looking at the basics of why the legal system is fundamentally rigged against the teenage mind. To understand why teenagers make the choices they do, we have to look under the hood. According to neurologists at Stanford's Department of Children's Health, adult brains and teen brains don't even use the same hardware to make decisions. Now let's look at the two main players in our head. Player number 1, the amygdala. Think of this as the Ferrari engine. It's located deep inside the brain and is the absolute king of emotion, survival, impulse, and immediate raw reaction. If you get jump scared, rage quit a video game, or feel a massive rush of excitement because your crush texted you back, that's your amygdala firing at you 100%. But here's the catch. The amygdala develops super early. So by the time you hit puberty, your emotional engine is fully built, polished, and ready to go. Now, meet player number 2, the prefrontal cortex, or also known as the PFC. This sits right behind your forehead. Think of the PFC as the CEO of your brain. It handles what scientists call executive functioning. That's a fancy term for logic, weighing consequences, controlling impulses, and planning for the future. The PFC is the voice in your head that says, hey, maybe don't post the video at 3 a.m. Or, if we do this, we will probably get arrested. It's your brain's ultimate braking system. But here's the biological crisis. While your emotional engine is ready to go at age 13, your logical braking system is still a massive construction zone. Dr. Ayesha Samgupta, a neuroscientist from Tufts University, points out that the connection between these two areas develops at completely different rates. Because of this lag, teenagers don't process information with their rational PFC the way visuals do. We process it with the emotional amygdala. When adults ask you, what were you thinking after you did something stupid? The scientific answer is literally, I wasn't thinking. In fact, I was feeling. The signals physically couldn't cross the bridge to the rational side of your brain fast enough. For a long time, media and old textbooks have constantly repeated this myth. Oh, the human brain finishes developing at age 25. You've probably heard it a million times. But we're now living in 2026, and the scientific consensus has completely moved past that. Thanks to incredibly precise neuroimaging breakthroughs over the last year, scientists have discovered something called the myelin gap, along with a concept called small worldness. Let's translate that into English. In your brain, you have neurons that send electrical messages. To make those messages travel fast, the wires need an insulation, like a rubber coating on a phone charger cord. In the brain, that insulation is a fatty substance called myelin. According to data released by the National Institute of Health, also known as NIH, a neuron that is completely wrapped in myelin fires 3,000 times faster and recovers 30 times quicker than an uninsulated one. Myelination is what creates the expressway between your emotional brain and your logical one. It's what gives an adult the ability to stop and think. But recent late 2025 and 2026 studies published in Nature Communications tracked this insulation progress and found that this neural expressway doesn't actually stabilize until you reach your early 30s, around age 32 to be exact. But think about what that means. If you're a 16-year-old reading this, your reward system is hyperactive, but you only have around 50 to 60% of adult-level insulation in your prefrontal cortex. Your logical stop signal is traveling thousands of times slower than the judge sitting on the bench looking down at you. This means that this isn't a behavioral choice. It isn't because Gen Z is being rebellious or careless. It is a structural reality of human hardware. Your brain is physically under construction. So, if science explicitly proves that a teenager's brain structure cannot consistently self-regulate, why does the American legal system pretend otherwise? This is where the concept of hot cognition comes in. In a calm, quiet classroom, what scientists call cold cognition, a 16-year-old can easily pass a civics test and tell you exactly what the law is. But place that exact same 16-year-old in a high-stress, high-stakes environment, or surround them with peer pressure, and their brain enters a state of hot cognition. The PFC goes completely offline, and the bicycle brakes snap. Yet, our criminal justice system uses the lowest possible threshold for its most severe punishments. Think about how contradictory society is. We tell an 18-year-old they aren't mature enough to rent a car or buy a beer because it's deemed too risky. But if that same teenager commits a crime, the law suddenly decides that they possess the pristine, flawless decision-making capacity of a 40-year-old CEO, and we throw them into an adult prison. Right now, in 2026, there is a literal war going on in courts over this exact issue. It's what policy experts call the pendulum swing. On one side, you have reformers pushing bills like Maryland's SB 323, which just advanced this spring. It realizes the science, raises the age for adult charges, and bans holding minors in adult jails for more than 6 hours because of the immense trauma it causes. But on the flip side, because of rising crime headlines, places like Washington, D.C., Louisiana, and Kentucky are doing a massive rollback. They are passing laws to fast-track kids as young as 14 straight into adult courts for violent crimes or firearm possession, completely bypassing juvenile rehabilitation. When we look at the neuroplasticity of a young brain, the fact that it's still actively wiring itself, science tells us that teenagers are incredibly responsive to rehabilitation. Their characters are fluid and not fixed, and they are capable of massive change. So, here's my question and the core argument of my entire project. If the brain is still printing, why are we letting the legal system write the final chapter of a kid's life in permanent ink? When we try a teenager as an adult, we aren't just punishing a criminal. We are sentencing a temporary, unfinished version of a person to a permanent lifetime fate. We are judging a child's worst mistake on a bad day by adult standards, while ignoring the biological reality that they literally may have not had the hardware to stop themselves. Over the next few episodes, we are going inside the interrogation room. We're going to look at real true crime cases, examples of Central Park 5 and Brendan Dassey, and we're going to talk to real legal experts to find out why innocent kids confess to things they didn't do, and how police interrogation tactics exploit the teenage mind. We need a legal system that matches the science of 2026 and not the myths of the past. Thanks for listening to episode 1 of The Unfinished Mind. If this made you think, do me a huge favor. Hit that share button, drop a comment, or send this to someone in your group chat. I want us to start thinking about the way our brains actually work, and to get that conversation started, I have a question for you to answer in the comments. What is one weird thing your brain does that you've always wondered about? See you next week.